Man, yesterday was one of those days. God, man, social media is the worst. I'm going to read some of this stuff. This is from Eli. Eli, Kevin, admit it. You had it all wrong. 32 million a year, 30 million signing bonus means the guaranteed money is going to be $65 million or more. Terry and his nincompoop agent, LOL, won this negotiation by KO, as in knockout. From Don, Terry outlasted in the long battle. From Kenny, I'm sure Commando Kev will use his airtime today to lecture us on how Terry still doesn't deserve it. Terry's agent is an idiot for getting him what he wants, and how the front office are geniuses for dragging it out so Terry misses camp, but they gave him what he wants anyways. The agent that Sheehan and other radio experts repeatedly dragged through the mud, Commando Kev, owes them both an apology, but we all know Commando Kev never admits when he's wrong. Just don't call me Commando Kev anymore, Kenny, please. This from Ken, not Kenny. Kevin, I really was kind of neutral on Terry getting his money, but I thought about you when the news broke and about his contract. Now I guess you will spin it on the radio that you were always in favor of this outcome, LOL. You sports media people are so funny and mostly inaccurate. I could read another 6 dozen tweets and emails just like the 4 or 5 that I just read. Days like yesterday are interesting. You know, I'm never surprised. I am always interested, curious, more so, maybe a bit mystified as to why some of you continue to kind of make the same mistake over and over again. You know, whether it was on Eric Bieniemy or Carson Wentz or Sam Howell, the list could go on, where you fire so quickly and so confidently when you just don't have enough of the information. I mean, was yesterday your first experience with contract news? You guys know what these initial reports are. The lack of detail, and many times they just end up being marketing pitches by agents. I mean, the biggest red flag on yesterday's announcement was what I said, you know, as it came down, where's the guaranteed dollar number? That's rather important information. It's why you weren't going to hear me say what, you know, guys like Ian asked me to say, which is just admit it. Just admit it. Terry won the deal. He and his agent crushed it. Why would anybody who has ever paid attention to the NFL and contract announcements admit yesterday or even this morning, because there are no guaranteed dollars out yet, that they know which side won the deal? We don't know at this point. We'll know when the details come out. Maybe later today, but they haven't come out. The agent's side is out, and it is notable that the guaranteed money in the deal was missing from the agent's side. Real quickly, let me digress a bit. This from Jerry. Jerry writes, Kevin, it really doesn't matter who won the deal. Terry is in and will play this year. I don't understand the fascination with the deal details. The only thing that matters is Terry is back. There's no reason. And then he writes, there's no reason for you to apologize for being wrong. That was actually a good ending there, Jerry, because you mocked me, but you also, in a subtle way, mocked the people. And there are plenty of them out there who believe that anybody that cares about the deal now that it's done and the details of the deal, like who got the better of the deal, who won the deal, somehow that makes you, you know, not a good fan or missing the big picture or not being able to move on. What are you talking about? I mean, come on. We've been talking about this thing for months. Like, this is, are you going to wait till the end of like a crime thriller, a whodunit, and just be satisfied with, oh, they told me they found him. They got him. He's in jail, without being interested in the details? Of course, the details are what most people are interested in. If you have a strong, first of all, there's just the idea that if you've got a strong opinion and you've taken a stance on something, you want to be right. That goes for you. That goes for me. And we will find out, you know, here today. I mean, this is what sports fans, you know, engage in. I don't get the oh, it's over. We don't need to talk about the details. Who cares? Because he's in. Well, of course he's in. And that's great news. But, more than one thing can be, discussed at a time. Like, you can want to be right about whatever opinion you had on the kind of deal that should be done for him, but also want the team and Terry to be happy that the long-term deal got done, and hopefully both sides are okay with it. I wanted that to happen, and I thought it would happen much sooner, of course. I thought it would happen before training camp. But Kenny, I think it was Kenny. Hold on. Yeah, Kenny, when you said that I would spin it as if I was always in favor of this outcome, well, yeah, I actually was in favor of this outcome. Now, if you meant to say that I wasn't in favor of the team overpaying Terry, that's true. So I could be reading it incorrectly. If you're saying I wasn't in favor of, overpaying Terry, that I didn't want the team to go beyond, 50 to 60 tops on guaranteed, or 28, 27, 28, 29 per year. Yeah, that's true. So if that's what you meant, that is probably true. Because anything above 60 and guaranteed for me would be a bad precedent to set. And Terry obviously wanted a lot more than 60 guaranteed. I don't know if you saw some of Ben's reporting, or even Diana Rossini's reporting, that he was actually asking for, basically just below Jamar Chase initially. But I definitely wanted a deal done. And I always thought a deal would get done. I think I said that about 1,000 times during the last few months. I just didn't want the team to overpay him. That's true. But at this point, though, we don't know the details. We don't know if the team caved, or if Terry caved, or if both caved, or both, putting it in a nicer light for those of you who don't like to discuss the details of contracts. They had a nice meeting somewhere in the middle. That's possible, too. I can tell you this. If the deal is as one-sided in Terry's favor as some of you believe it is, I think the agent would have said that. He would have given not only the years and the overall potential value up to $96 million, he would have provided information on the guaranteed money. Him not doing that is, I'm sure, the reason why you've seen many reporters reluctant, in terms of those who are covering this very closely, reluctant to sort of declare one side having gotten the better of the deal, because we don't know the details. When we get the details of the deal, I think if the guaranteed money's over 60, Terry and his agent did very well and they won the deal. I would say that anything between 55 and 60 in guaranteed money, call it a draw. Anything less than 55, team got what they wanted. Ian and I have a bit of a bet on DM. I basically said, and anything more than 60, Terry won. He took that. Anything less than 60, the team won. But I would say, thinking about it, anything guaranteed between 55 and 60 is kind of both of them finding a middle ground. Anything less than 55 is a big cave by Terry. Anything more than 60 is a big cave by the team. I think the structure as it relates to how much the team owes after a year or two is a big tell on the deal as well. We'll find out that. If there's guaranteed money beyond 2026, big win for Terry. If, there isn't a lot of sort of incentive earnout, that's a big win for Terry. If the team can get out sooner, better for them. There's a lot of detail. The guaranteed money is the big tell more than anything else. But I'm going to reserve the right to wait for the actual details of the deal itself before admitting, hey, I was off on this one. Anyway, Terry and Adam Peters will speak tomorrow. Adam Peters will address the media, and then Terry's going to talk after practice. And look, yes, the good news is Terry presumably, knock on wood, will be there and will be happy and feel appreciated and feel respected, and feel like the team acknowledged what he believes he is. I hope that is how it comes together, because I've always wanted a deal. I always thought it would happen, because it's just better in this window with Jaden on a rookie deal that we've got Terry under contract for at least this year and next to take advantage of Jaden's rookie deal. And look, the bottom line is, man, this team has a chance. I was on a radio show this morning, the show that Denton produces now on the Bet QL network. And one of the hosts, Michael Jenkins, was one of the hosts, but the female host, and I'm sorry, I forget her name. She said, "What do you think the best case scenario is for Washington this year?" And I said, "The Super Bowl. They have the best quarterback in the NFC. I guess you could argue Matt Stafford if you want, or Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts. I think they're all excellent quarterbacks. I don't think they're Jaden Daniels. And if you've got the best quarterback in the NFC, and in an era where offense typically is more important, that didn't used to be the case. Yeah, the best case is Super Bowl. And Terry was going to play regardless of extension or no extension. But having Terry and having him, have the opportunity to ramp up in kind of a much more positive atmosphere. Let's hope that, some of the concerns from some of you about, soft tissue injuries and the things that you sometimes see when players report late. Let's hope that he's healthy. I think we've got enough time, enough of a ramp-up time. He's now 10 days off the PUP list. He's got another, at this point, 5, 7, 12 days until the opener. And really out of those, 8 real practice opportunities. But that's a lot. And Terry's smart. We know that. So he's been, basically gathering what has been going on, whatever's new. But with him out there, in the right kind of atmosphere, contract extension, feeling good, no threat of, potentially him being unprofessional at any point, which I never thought was a possibility. Debo in shape, a revamped and upgraded offensive line, year 2 in this system. Man, as long as 5 is upright and healthy, this should be a dynamic offensive football team. Defense is the mystery. Defense is the question mark. But I could tell in my answer that both hosts were like, whoa. And I'm like, look, you got to understand. This is, from somebody who hasn't thought much for basically 20 years about a season going into a season. Maybe it's not objective, but I certainly think you can make the argument that they've got the best quarterback and the best offense in the NFC. Maybe it's Detroit. The question comes down to defense. There's no doubt. Like, are they better on defense? Do they have to be a lot better on defense? Maybe not, but they got to be better to win double-digit games and have a chance to advance. Although I said something the other day, and I'm looking for what my buddy Steve sent me. I said something the other day. It's like, with Jaden at quarterback, he's already proven that he's got that clutch gene. And we saw it in 2 different playoff games on the road. You just got to get into the tournament. You just got to get into the dance. With Jaden Daniels at quarterback, no team is going to want to see him come in January to their building. Just get in. I will have my season prediction next week in the build-up to week 1. I'll give you my season prediction and give you guys a chance to do the same. I'm not backing off here at all. I think as long as he's on the field with the players that he will have around him on offense and that coordinator in year 2, I definitely will be talking double-digit wins and the playoffs again. I think it's going to be interesting, the rest of the conference. It certainly looks deep, but what will Detroit be without their 2 coordinators? What will Ben Johnson be able to accomplish with Caleb Williams in year 1? Does Green Bay bounce back? Is Philly even better and more consistent in the regular season than they were last year? What are the Rams if Matt Stafford is healthy? What are the 49ers if their overall roster is healthy? What's Tampa now that they may have health on defense? It's a loaded conference, and there are going to be some incredible games on the schedule, incredible buildups on the schedule. I certainly hope so. But, just starting week 2 with the Packers, going out to LA to face the Chargers in week 5, that back-to-back Cowboys on the road, Chiefs on Monday night, the Lions at home, the Dolphins in Madrid, the matchup with Bo Nix on a Sunday night. At Minnesota, we'll see what the Vikings are this year. And then at the end of the year, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles. But really, the Eagles twice in 3 weeks. This has a chance to be the highest profile season in many of your lifetimes. And can't wait for it to start. We're getting closer.